Today's new challenger is brought to you by Gamefly. What's up, guys? Welcome to New Challenger. I am Anthony. We are at E3. Jeff Kanata is joining me. Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. The week is winding down. Good show this year.
Really fun. Yeah, it's sort of slow for me, but it picked up in the second 2 days, and I found some stuff that I'm really jazzed about.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. I think Jeff and I are going to talk about some of the stuff that impressed us, maybe didn't impress us as much, and maybe something that surprised us. So let's talk about something that maybe surprised you, something that snuck up on you that you didn't expect.
There were a couple of surprises, but my pick for biggest surprise is Darksiders 2. I'm a huge fan of Darksiders 1, and I expected more of the same, and I was surprised by how different the game is.
Really?
It's got a loot system. It's got fat loots.
Oh, man.
And
that's going to end it for so many people.
Adding that to a Zelda formula is such a brilliant idea. You've got, armor that will help your skills out. You've got a whole weapon system, and you can trade with friends. It's still a single-player game, no multiplayer, but you can throw loot into your buddy's game.
I like that.
So cool.
I like that. Darksiders for me, I was kind of into it. It had kind of a Zelda if DeviantArt got its hands on it vibe.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
I like the idea of just adding little bits of multiplayer that don't detract from what the game is good at,
Yeah. It's not really true multiplayer, but it's cool enough that I can just toss you my junk that I don't want, and maybe you do want, and I'm so hooked on Diablo right now that anything with loot in it, I'm like, oh, loot's a great idea.
Oh, more stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think biggest surprise for me was maybe DMC.
Yeah, it's so different, right?
Very different. It's got Ninja Theory all over it, man. The opening cutscene, opening little story bit, I was just like, oh yeah, these are the enslaved guys, and I like that it's the enslaved guys.
Yeah.
I just dig the whole new style that they're going with. I know a lot of people were concerned about them messing with the look, but I went back and I played the HD collection recently, and maybe that look is done. Maybe it was needing
a little
new
outdated.
one. And this is great because I don't know, you played it, yeah?
Yes, I did.
Just the whole thing where the city just turns into demon buildings and everything around you is just hating on you.
It broke my brain a little bit because not only do you have the already very complex Devil May Cry, gun, sword, back and forth all the time, juggling, crazy fight system, but now you've got these modifiers where you can go into demon mode and angel mode, and so you can throw that in the mix as well. It's almost too much for me to handle at first.
But once you wrap your head around it, if you were somebody who wanted to do those insane juggling combos in the original series, using that combination of the angel grab and rise and then the demon grab and throw, I was launching and chaining and just all over the place.
Did you see the discotheque level?
I didn't.
Where the floor will change into demon or angel, so you have to hold down that trigger or you'll take damage while also doing the combo. So it's like changing and you're walking onto new areas. You have to. It's like.
See, and at the same time, there are enemies that you can only break their guard with angel or demon attacks. So I can see that whole system really becoming something complex and interesting.
It's intense, man.
Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about maybe something that you were looking forward to that maybe didn't deliver as much.
I have a big one.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
It's, hearing the announcement, oh my gosh, a giant world. It's already got a giant world. I'm in love with Elder Scrolls. I'm in love with that exploration. I'm in love with that thing. Other people in it? Yes. Well, turns out it's a very traditional MMO.
Super wowish.
Super wowish. Built for 5-year-old PCs. It's built for old hardware, which is cool. They haven't announced pricing stuff that I'm aware of. I'm assuming it'll be free to play because they're going for a very broad market.
Yeah.
It had better be because I can't see them try. Some of the stuff I saw behind closed doors presentation on it, and it is very disappointing to me.
It's strange that they would take so much of this aesthetic and this depth and this sort of real-time action that we're used to in that series and just sort of turn it into something that's templatized. You know?
It's got a little of that action combat stuff. You still block, you still can dodge attacks, but I mean, it's everything that I've been doing in.
I saw a hotbar and I cried a little. I saw a hotbar and I cried a little, Jeff Kanata.
I cried a lot. I cried a lot. What were you disappointed with?
Oh man, I am one of those guys where I'm very realistic about Nintendo, but I'm always waiting for Nintendo to sneak up and surprise me.
Yeah.
And
did they sneak up?
They didn't sneak up. I caught him sleeping. I caught him napping in a chair. And you go to their booth, and the entire thing is done up to look like Nintendo Land. And all I didn't want to hear about was Nintendo Land.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nintendo Land up in there. Mini games.
All of the mini games. And I was just waiting during that press conference for that one more first-party exclusive that was really going to ratchet me up into like, yes, let's do this. And I think I maybe just can't get behind the Wii U hardware right now. I think I'm going to have to wait and see. Yeah. You know, so
I hear ya. I mean, it's hard to get excited about a system that already kind of feels a little dated. I thought New Super Mario Bros. U was really cool. Yeah. But where's my 3D Mario that proves that this hardware means something, that uses it in a really interesting way? Just tapping stuff on the thing doesn't add.
Yeah, not really.
And half of the stuff that's in Nintendo Land could be iOS games. Just put them out as iOS games.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. I think, you know, watching that 3DS conference, I was like, these guys still know mobile, but mobile's shrinking. Yeah. And they're making that play to get back into the living room, and I don't think they know how to do it.
I want to trust them.
Yeah.
I want to. They've proved to be so right so many times, and maybe they're just aiming at that little brother market, that little brother who wants his own screen.
Yeah.
And that's just not me anymore, so.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we are going to talk about our best of show. So stay right there. It's not like you're going anywhere or changing any channels anyway. It's the internet. Gamefly is the world's largest home video game rental service with over 8,000 titles to rent across new and classic consoles. With plans starting at just $15.95 a month, Gamefly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time with no late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. And now, Gamefly also lets you play hundreds of PC games a month with unlimited play. Go check them out. Go to gamefly.com/challenger, and they will give new Challenger viewers a 15-day free trial. That's gamefly.com/new Challenger. All the console and now PC games too. Believe it. Mic dropped, Gamefly. Okay, so let's talk about the best of E3.
You mean the best of the best?
The bestest of all the E3s.
The best around? Nothing's gonna take it down?
Nothing. I'm gonna go.
That's a hard decision for me. There's some really great stuff.
Good stuff. Assassin's Creed 3 with the ships. The ships came out of nowhere, and I love it. Tomb Raider had an amazing demo here this year.
It did.
I think I'm gonna go with The Last of Us.
I can't fault you for that choice. Fantastic.
What I loved is, in the press conference, we saw a very, I'm not going to say brutally, but I'm going to say realistically violent game. A game where you enter into these firefights, and when you kill somebody, you feel bad. You feel bad watching that happen.
Yes.
But then they take us into this demo, and they show us the same area again. And they show you how you can do it without being that guy.
Yep.
They show you how you can sneak around, how you can use the environment to your advantage, and how you can, you know, instead of taking those bandages and making a Molotov cocktail, you can make a health kit with it. Right. And you can choose to be a guy who's going to restrain himself and take the high road in that sort of post-apocalyptic world. And I love it.
It's really emotional. I was sort of breathless the whole time, like, oh God, and the way that they dynamically populate the world with audio cues that aren't the same every time. You come around a corner, he's like, oh, there he is. I was holding my breath through half the demo that they showed, and then when he does kill someone, and the body's on the ground and the blood starts to pool out from it, it's a different sensation than you have with any other video game, where the action isn't exciting. It's tense and scary and uncomfortable. And
you do it because you need to.
Exactly.
You do it because you have to. And I got a little bit of that from Max Payne, that fatigue of like, I can't kill any more people. I can't kill any more people. But it didn't have that emotional weight that I think that this game is going to have. So I loved it. How about you?
Wow, that's certainly a contender for me. For me, it's a toss-up right now between SimCity, which
so good.
I think I was telling you earlier, if I could take one game home with me right now and play it, it would be SimCity. That wonderful, beautiful tilt-shift aesthetic where it looks like a little toy town.
Time is slightly sped up.
It's amazing.
So it looks like a little animation.
And everything is so visceral. They give you so much feedback graphically instead of numerically. little shootouts, little bank robbery heist thing. It's just like it's pure joy. Between that and Beyond Two Souls, which I don't know if you got to see the behind closed door.
I got to see it.
It is unbelievable.
Okay, I feel like it has a lot of potential to be unbelievable.
Oh, you're disagreeing?
I feel like we may see these choices seem a little more limited and a little more scripted than we were being shown.
Really? Did you played Heavy Rain? Did you like Heavy Rain?
I did like Heavy Rain.
So I loved Heavy Rain.
I did like Heavy Rain.
I think if you don't like Heavy Rain, you might not like this game.
Yeah.
I don't think David Cage is making a video game. Because in a video game, there's a game over screen potentially. You go back to your save, you try to win.
Yeah.
There's no winning here. This is play through a story, whatever happens to you happens to you. You play through it once, that's your story.
Yeah.
And to me that is so incredibly exciting, and the level of care and detail and imagination at work, and the whole aspect of the playground levels where you're playing as the ghost. It blew me away.
It's good, but right there in those playground levels, he's like, okay, well if somebody has a blue aura, you can do this to them. If somebody has a
orange
red aura, you can choke them, and if they have an orange aura, you can possess them. But for me, I was looking at it, I was like, well, why is that guy possessible and not that guy if I'm a ghost? Why am I only able to take over this guy who happens to be close to this vehicle and drive this vehicle
In
off?
his very David Cagey way, he said that it all has to do with the mood of the character, and your aura has whatever you had for lunch that day changes your aura.
Every character before every scene, there's a lunch algorithm.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on this one, man. I'm ready to be transported on that journey. I felt like with Heavy Rain, the joy of seeing that story and then talking to my friends and going, oh, so what's her name died, right? No. What happened? And then that discussion is like, I had my own story that I got to play.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to me. So
there's a lot of great stuff here this year. It's been blowing my mind. It's going to be a good next year for video games, man.
It took me a little while to rev up. Like the first day, I kind of was a little disappointed with Nintendo like you were.
Yeah.
I felt like, oh, is this a down year? But there's been so many. Need for Speed was fantastic. There's like a whole litany of games I could go through that really get me excited for. I guess February is the new holiday season because everything's coming out in February.
Yeah.
But I'm excited too.
Absolutely. You guys over on TRS, you guys are doing a ton of videos here this week as well, right?
Yeah, every single day. I hope everybody's been checking it out. And I know you've been knocking some socks off of people.
Trying to do it over here on Rev3 Games, so make sure that you are subscribed to both channels and get all of your magical E3 wonderment. And we will see you next week.
Enjoy.